What is up, you guys? For today's video, we are going to be testing out the long-awaited and probably most hyped palette of 2019, which is the Conspiracy Palette from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. And this is a collaboration with Shane Dawson here on YouTube. And I just want to say congrats to Shane on your collab. Seriously, this palette is so stunning. I mean, like, look at the packaging even. It is so cool. If you haven't seen it, though, it has, like, a really cool, like, unique design to it. And the inside, though, oh my gosh. Like, when I saw it, I was like, girl, that needs to be in my collection as soon as possible. And if you're like me and you love cool tones, you're gonna really enjoy this one. Because it's really like kind of like a cool tone fantasy, but you also get these beautiful pops of color. It is such a unique vibe compared to a lot of palettes here on the market right now. But nonetheless, if you'd like to see how I did this look using this palette today, then just stay tuned on watching. However, before we jump into using this palette, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a like. And also, if you'd like to check me out on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten. And on Instagram, I post 7 days a week with a ton of tutorials over on there if you are looking for some inspiration. So before we jump into using the palette, we are going to be priming our eyelids using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. You guys know this is my all-time holy grail eyeshadow primer. And I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand. And apparently I squirted everywhere because your girl is starting to run out. And I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and start applying it to the lid. You guys, though, I am so excited for this palette. I mean, like, look at how beautiful the packaging is. I love the, like, aesthetic of it. Kind of gives me, like, a masculine kind of vibe. And I also love, like, this, like, metal detailing and that it has, like, that, like, raised effect. I think it's just so cool. It's definitely not a travel-friendly palette, but you know what? I don't go anywhere, so it's definitely going to look beautiful in my vanity. And if you haven't seen the inside of this palette, though, like, girl, it is beautiful. Like, it is so stunning. I love that it's very cool toned, and even my dad said it was awesome. And I mean, like, my dad's not into makeup. He always, like, tries, but you know what I mean? And he was like, dang, that's actually a really beautiful palette. And I don't know, there's just something about this color story that got me super excited. So we're just gonna jump right into it because, girl, this palette just needs to be played with. It is just so beautiful. And the first shadow that we are going to be going in with is this beautiful light blue shade called What's the Tea? Because, girl, we are going to be spilling a lot of tea about this palette today. So using this number 10 brush from the BH Cosmetics Marble Luxe brush set, I'm going to be applying this directly into my crease. And I'm also going to be kind of fluffing it outwards towards my brow and using it to round out my outer V. Because, girl, we're going to get smoky today with this look. I will say from first glance of this shadow, I really love the undertone of it because it's kind of like a mint, but it also has like a hint of like a green to it. It's very, very beautiful and actually a very unique pastel shade. And one thing I will say, though, too, it isn't doing that, like, dusty thing that a lot of pastels do. I really enjoyed the formula of it so far. And not to mention, it is very pigmented. So as you have that all applied and blended out, the next shadow that we are going to be going in with is probably my favorite out of the palette, just, like, looking at it. And that is this beautiful matte plum shade right here called Not a Fact. And then using this number 5 brush from the BH Cosmetics Lavender Luxe brush set, I'm going to be applying this directly into my crease, as well as into my outer V using circular motions. I just want like this like bluish kind of like purpley shade, and I feel like these two colors kind of like mixed together will be perfect for that. And I'm just going to build it up just a little bit because I do want to kind of bring in a little bit more of like the undertone of this shadow. But wow, I just love how that looks. Like, these two together are seriously so stunning. After applying Not a Fact, I did notice I was losing a little bit of that baby blue pop from What's the Tea, so I'm just going to take a little bit more of that. And on the brush that we used earlier, and I'm going to be fluffing it right between the purple and where the blue was. Just to blend the two colors together and also bring a little bit more of that blue goodness back. Because I just love like how these colors are blending together. It is making like this beautiful like icy kind of like grayish kind of like purpley blue color. It's really, really beautiful. And I'm just doing like little circular motions because I feel like that just blends shadow together so much better. And then once you have that, I'm just going to take a little bit more of that purpley shade and just fluff everything out just a little bit. And again, I'm just doing circular motions. So the next shade that we are going to be using is this beautiful matte black called My Rides Here because, girl, my soul left my body. I need to go catch it because I seriously am so shook about this palette. All super cringy jokes aside, I'm going to take a little bit of My Rides Here and actually mix it in with Not a Fact just so it's not a super intense, crazy pigmented black since I don't know how this one works yet and I don't want it to overpower my look. And then using this BH Cosmetics number 9 brush, I'm going to be applying this directly into my crease. I'm kind of like tilting my head back a little bit. So I'm really getting it all up in there without having it go far up, because if you keep your face like this and you put your brush here, you can see it kind of like travels upwards. If you tilt your head back, it'll get a little bit more in there. And I'm just going to do little circular motions to blend that into the purple, as well as using it to round out my outer V. And then I'm just going to go in with a second layer just to deepen things up a little bit and just bring a little bit more life to this look. I gotta say though, if you do decide to use that black shade, make sure you are very, very careful with it because it'll definitely overpower your look. It is so crazy pigmented. It really reminds me of Sugar Pill Bulletproof because that is like the most intense black I own in my collection. And this one is very much like that. So you want to make sure that if you are going to be using it and you want it like not so crazy black, that you are mixing it in with the shade that you are trying to blend it into. It'll make it a little bit easier to work with that way. So here's where I'm at right now with the look, and seriously, I'm obsessed with how this is turning out so far. It's a very like icy purple kind of moment, which is so underrated in my opinion. It feels like a lot of makeup companies are coming out with like warm tone smoky palettes, you know, with a lot of oranges and like rusty shades. And I mean, like those are really beautiful and I love using them, but like sometimes I just want like a cool tone moment, and this palette is definitely giving it to me. And with that though, off camera, I'm just gonna cut my crease using that Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer that we used earlier. So once your crease is cut and ready to go, the next shadow that we are going to be going in with is another one that I'm so excited to use. And that is this one called Illuminati, which is kind of like a deepened emerald. And then using a damp and flat shader brush, I'm going to be packing this on the outer third of my lid. And I'm making sure I don't apply anything in this inner kind of like 2/3 because we are going to be applying other shades there in a minute. I don't know if you guys feel like this too, but I would love to hear your thoughts on this. But do you guys feel like this palette kind of reminds you of the Alien palette from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, or is it just me? Because it kind of gives like that similar kind of vibe, you know, with like the greens and the purples and also like the cooler tone neutrals. Maybe I'm going crazy, but I do want to grab the palette later on and see like what they look like next to each other because I'm really kind of curious to see if there's a lot of similarities or not. Because honestly, like looking at this palette, I really wish that this would have been the Alien palette because that Alien palette I don't really use all that much. But this one, I just love the colors and I think you can do a lot with it. I'm torn which shade I want to use on the lid because like part of me wants to go in with Conspiracy because it is such a beautiful green and you guys know I am obsessed with green. And then the other part of me is like, ooh, Diet Cola looks stunning. It's like a beautiful like silvery shade. But I think I want to go in with Diet Cola just because I feel like Conspiracy would kind of like wash everything out just because we have so much darkness going on. So we are going to be going in with that. And then using another little damp and flat shader brush, I'm going to be applying this to the rest of my lid. Ooh, that is so pretty. That is like liquid metal. Oh my gosh, that is stunning. I love it next to this like green shade that we have going on too. It's so beautiful. Man, this look though, it is making me feel some sort of way. I am just so obsessed with it. And it also is making my eyes look kind of like this really cold green, which I think is so beautiful. And I literally always love when my eyes look this way. But with that though, off camera, I'm just gonna kind of clean things up a little bit as well as apply some like complexion products and some lipstick, and then I'll be right back. So here's where I'm at right now with the look after applying my complexion products as well as some liner and some lashes. And I will say, girl, when I was doing my lashes, I had like the worst experience. I've never done this before, mind you, but like I had my lash on, no big deal. And you know, it was like in that like in between of like drying kind of stage, and then I sneezed. And oh my gosh, like normally when I sneeze when I have lashes on, like they're already dry, so it's really not a problem. But I got like the biggest glue like blob thing underneath my eye I have ever seen. And I was sitting there like, girl, am I gonna have to redo my base? Because I don't know if you guys are like this too, but once I have my base done and then I goof my makeup up after that, like on my base, like I can't redo my base. Like it just gets like 10 times worse. I don't know how girls can do it. Like, you know, they are like, oh, just like reapply the concealer and they already have like their powder on and stuff. And I'm like, girl, if I did that, my makeup would look so bad. But like, I just let my lash glue dry and I was able to like pick it off because I was like, is this gonna act like mascara? You know, like when you get mascara up here and you just like let it dry and then you can like flake it off. You can do the exact same thing with lash glue. So I was like, yes. But man, like I was just like, are you serious? Because I didn't want to redo it because I'm loving how this is looking so far. But nonetheless, we are going to start working on the lower lash line. So now we are going to start working on the lower lash line because girl, I just need some balance with this look. I want everything to like start tying in together. And what we are going to do is line our eyes using this Buxom gel liner pencil in the shade Call Me, which is a jet black. And before that baby dries, we're going to take a little bit of Not a Fact on this Luxie 231 small tapered blending brush. And then with this shade, I'm just going to do back and forth motions, kind of like smoking things downward as well as connecting it to the outer V. You just want to take your time with this, otherwise you're going to look like a raccoon, and that's not kind of like the vibe we're going for. But hey, if you want to have that, by all means just smoke it down really far, but I just want to keep it kind of balanced. Now you could do ranch in the inner corner right now and it would be so beautiful, but you know what? I want to do something a little bit different, a little bit risky. So what we are going to be doing is we're going to take this shade right here, the neon yellowy green in the palette called Food Vibes, and we're going to apply it in the inner corner. Now this color is either going to make or break the look, but you know what? We're just going to go for it because it's makeup and at the end of the day, we can always wash it off. So I'm just going to apply it using a pencil brush. This is a Luxie pencil brush at that. Okay, she's cute. I do want to build it up to see if I can get it like super intense, because I did go in a little light-handed because, girl, I don't want to redo it and have it like neon inner corner, you know what I mean? Now we're just gonna pack this on really, really heavy because, you know what, why be risky if we're not gonna go full in? But like, ooh. I will say, I didn't know if I was gonna like it or not, but it's kind of growing on me. It's actually really cool. I will say though, it's kind of like one of those shades I expected to be a lot more neon than it is. It's still really stunning. So even though I really enjoyed the inner corner matte, I just want like something a little bit more sparkly and a little bit more edgy. So we are going to be going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild Glow Kit, and I'm going to be going in with Lucky Clover. And then using this BH Cosmetics pencil brush, I'm going to be packing this on in the inner corner right on top of the neon yellow. You see what I mean though? I just gave it like that extra something something. I think it's just so pretty. I really love this glow kit. It transforms so many eyeshadows and you can get such a different vibe with them. But yeah, so here's the finished look using the Shane Dawson x Jeffree Star Cosmetics Conspiracy Palette, and truly, I had so much fun with this palette today, and also none of the shadows that I used gave me any problems whatsoever. They were truly such a dream to use, and if you have ever used Jeffree Star Cosmetics eyeshadows, this is no exception to his formula. So that means that the formula of the mattes in here are very pigmented and very easy to blend out, and the shimmers in here have the most beautiful wet sheen to them when applied to the lid. Seriously, they are so gorgeous. I can truly see myself using this palette more though. Like, I just love the colors in here, and if you're like me and you love cool tones, I feel like you're gonna really enjoy this one too. So when it comes down to it, when I recommend this palette to you guys, and honestly, if you're into the color story and you want to support Shane, I would definitely recommend checking it out. Like, seriously, the eyeshadow formula is to die for. But I don't want to like tell you guys that you like absolutely need it, because truly it is an expensive palette. You know, it's not a very affordable kind of like product, but if you're okay with the price tag, I would definitely recommend checking it out because I feel like you're gonna be really happy with it. So I just want to show you guys the Conspiracy palette next to the Alien palette, and as you can see, there's a little bit of a similarity between the two. I was not expecting that. But the Alien palette has a little bit more green to it, as well as some like more yellow, whereas the Conspiracy palette has like those like pinks and reds in it, which is a little bit different. But nonetheless, I feel like you could kind of get similar looks between the two if you have like one and not the other. But I just wanted to like show you guys that just in case you were curious. But yeah, so in the comments down below, let me know what you think about this look, and also let me know if you'd like to see more looks using this palette. But as always though, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a like, and also if you'd like to check me out on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!